Mhm. Hey, what's going on, man? It's been a long time, but I am back with another video. Hopefully, this helps you. Good luck on your tests. Let's get started. For each classification, state whether you should use law of sines or cosine, which classification should or could make 0, 1, 2, or 2 triangles the ambiguous one. So angle, side, angle. All right, angle, side, angle. You got two angles. Anytime you have two angles, guys, that's going to be a law of sine right there. All right, side, angle, side. I remember this is an inclusive angle. All right, the angle's included in the two sides, so that's law of cosine. All right, and you also, if you sketch that out, hypothetically, right, side 1, side 2, and the angle right here, you don't have a complete ratio. All right, you can't use law of sines here. This one, side, side, angle, understand you have two sides, all right, but the angle's not inclusive. All right, the angle's not inclusive, meaning I got an angle, side 1, side 2, or the opposite side and the adjacent side. I'm going to come back to that, but notice that's not inclusive. See, that's inclusive. That's not inclusive. All right, this right here is also your ambiguous case. So you will use law of sine here, and this is your ambiguous case right here. All right, side, side, angle. You can't have 0, 1, or 2 triangles. Side, 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 you don't have any angles, so you can't make a ratio. Therefore, this is going to be law of cosine. And angle, angle, side, you got two angles, so that's going to be law of sine. All right, right here, derive the area formula and use the sine function, all right, based off the given triangle. So we can pick C or A, it doesn't matter right here, but if you can find height, right, and you think about it, height, if I use the angle A, would be opposite. All right, so, yeah, this is the height right here. All right, so if we look at our rule, right, and if you think about this right triangle right here, all right, you have this angle, sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Well, this hypotenuse right here, all right, if you look at this grand scheme of this triangle, is adjacent. So just looking at the rule, when you think about SOHCAHTOA, all right, sine of angle A would be opposite height over that adjacent leg right there, or the hypotenuse in this case, right? Or we'll say side C, right? So when you solve this for the height, multiply by C on both sides, you get height equals C sine of A, right there, right? And that just comes from a right triangle. So anyway, you know how area equals 1/2 base times height? Well, we know what the base is. The base is this. All right, so you have 1/2 base, or B, C sine of A. So area equals 1/2 B times C sine of A. Right there, okay? All right, cool. Number 2 right here. It says solve each triangle. Be sure to watch for special cases. First of all, look at this postulate right here. All right. I have an angle, an angle, and a side. So given we have two angles right here, we know we're going to use law of sine. All right. Now, when we sketch this thing out real quick, you'll see that you have side angle. All right, so since we got law of sine right here, excuse me, I drew that wrong. You see what I did right there? I drew that all wrong. Let me fix it right here. Right here, this angle is 106. All right, so since we got 106 right here, we got two angles and a side, so we got to use law of sine. But first, we got to find this angle right here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add those two angles up and subtract from 180. And when we do that, we're going to get 106. I'm sorry, that's 106. We're going to get 10 degrees. This is 10 right here. Oh, this right here, this angle here is 10 degrees. Here, I'm just going to do the work. This is not working out. All right, so 108 plus 64. We're going to do 180 minus that, and that gives us 10 degrees. So C is 10 degrees. This is 10. All right. So now that we have that, we can use 78 over sine of 10 equals side B all over sine of 106. When you cross multiply that, you get B equals 431.8. And if you do that again, you'll get A equals 403.7. So there you go. Those are your answers right there. C, side B, side A. All right. So right here for number 3. All right, we got 3 sides. So this is side, side, side. So we're going to use law of cosine. All right. So since we're using law of cosine, we're going to go, I'll start with angle A. So 34 squared equals 21 squared minus 16 squared minus 2 cosine of angle A. Well, if I rewrite this to isolate A, I get 34 squared minus 21 squared plus 16 squared all over, and notice the parentheses, -2. Oh, I missed this right here. 2 times 21 times 16. All right, and then we're going to take the cosine inverse of this, and that'll give us, whoa. Sorry, y'all, I'm tired. Cosine inverse, now to give me A. All right. So when we do that, you get A is going to be 133. And yes, I'm rounding all the angles to the nearest degree, okay? All right, anyway, I got A. I'm going to do that same thing again, but for B this time. So B is going to be 21 squared minus 34 squared plus 16 squared all over -2 times 34 times 16. And that again, oh snap. We want cosine. We want cosine or B equals cosine inverse of that. And when you do that, you get B equals 27. So now, if I do 27 plus 133, and 180 minus 27 minus 133, and that's going to give me a cool 54. No, I'm sorry. 20 degrees. All right. Right here, we got side angle side, right? That's inclusive in those two. So we're going to use law of cosine. I'm going to start by finding A. So A squared equals, because I have angle A, I'm going to find angle A. I'm going to find side A. So A squared equals 35 squared minus 35 squared minus 33 squared minus 2 times 35 times 33 cosine of 68. Now this you can just solve. If I take the square root on both sides, I can just punch that straight in my calculator just like that, and I'll get A is going to be 38.1. So now I have a whole ratio. All right. So I could go 38.1 divided by sine of 68 equals, we'll do B. So 35 divided by sine of B. And cross multiply, you end up with the sine inverse and you get B equals 58 degrees. And then if you do 68 plus 58 and subtract that from 180, you'll get C is 54 degrees. All right, number 5. Number 5 right here, if you look, I have a completed ratio. So this one is side-side angle. All right, when it's side-side angle, you need to check the height. So the height is going to be the adjacent leg, which is B, sine of angle C. All right, and when I do that, you get the height is going to be, that's going to be 23.7. So now the height is 23.7. That is less than, nope, the height is greater than the opposite side. Notice that you have angle C, this is the opposite side. So because this is greater than the opposite side, there's no triangle. All right. Also, if you try to solve this, you'll get error in the calculator because you got error right there. And that's only because it's side angle. You got an error, that's also no triangle. This one, B, side B, angle A, again, that's side angle. So we need to check the height again. All right, for this one, the height is going to be opposite, which is, adjacent, sine of 44. All right, and when we do that, the height is going to give us, all right, let me punch it in. You get 19.4. So H is less than, so you have B, so it's less than the opposite leg, right? So it's less than B, all right, which is less than A. So because that height is less than both of those, well, it's less than B, but B is less than A, there's two triangles. So now I just need to solve this triangle first, all right? I'm going to draw two triangles, and there's a reason why I'm drawing two triangles so you can see this. All right, so you have A, B, C, this is 44, 28, 25. And 28 right there, A, B, C. All right, anyway, so when you look right here, right, I can use law of sines for this one. All right, I can go 25 over sine of 44 equals 20, sine equals 28 over sine of A. All right. So right here, when you do this, you're going to cross multiply and get A equals 51. So A is 51 degrees. Once you have that, you can add those. Well, I'm sorry. Before I find this, I'm going to find the second A over here. So if I take 180 minus 51, all right, that's going to give me 85. Oh. That's going to give me 129, sorry. So I go over here and that's 129, okay? And then I add those up and subtract from 180. That's going to give me 85 degrees. All right, and over here, if I add those two up, I'll get 7 degrees, all right? And now I just got to find that little C right there. So for this little C, I'll do the same thing, 25 over sine of 44 equals little c over sine of 85. I'm doing this C right here, this C right here. All right, so I'm using that 85 right there. So anyway, when I do that, all right, we're going to get a 35.9 right there. So that triangle is complete. And then for this one, you do the same thing. Little c over sine of 7. All right, and when you do that cross multiplication, you get c equals 4.4. All right, this one right here, you got A and A. All right, so two sides in a corresponding angle. All right, and B, this is side angle again. All right, so we got to take the height. So we do the opposite side, which is, adjacent side, which is B, sine of 110. All right, so 16 sine of 110, 15.03. All right, so H is less than the opposite side, right? But 48 is greater than the adjacent side, so there's one triangle. So guys, you just make your triangle. I'm not gonna solve through this one. Make your triangle, label your parts, all right, and label it. And just so you can check yourself, you'll see that B is 18, C is 52, and little c is going to be 40.3. All right. 8 right here, we have side. So we need to just find where we're going to use log cosine to find a missing angle. All right, and the thing right here, I'm going to do A first. So 1.42 squared equals 0.75 squared plus 1.25 squared minus 2 times 0.75 times 1.25. Oops, cosine of angle A. I want to do A first. All right, and with that, we need to isolate A. So to isolate A, I'm going to do 1.42 squared, and I'm going to subtract this sum right here. This sum, I'm going to subtract it over here. So I get minus 0.75 squared plus 1.25 squared. All right, and then notice it's been moved to the left. So now on the right, you have this right here, cosine of A. Well, I'm going to divide this. Oops, forgot my negative. I'm going to divide this over to here. All right, and then you got cosine of A. So you got to do the inverse to isolate A. So A, or cosine inverse of this equals A. All right, and when you do that, you get A is 87 degrees. And then you got a ratio now, so use log sine or cosine again. So you get B equals 32 and C equals 61 degrees. All right. All right. 9 through 13, guys, you got to check the height. All right. So again, do the adjacent leg sine of the given angle. All right. Or sine of theta, whatever the given angle is. All right. So right here, if I find the height, H is going to be 10 sine of 30, all right, which is going to give us, which is going to give us 5. So you have, oops, H is less than the opposite side, or 8, the opposite side. So H is less than the opposite side. All right, but it's the opposite side less than the adjacent side. It is, right? It's less than that, right? So there are 2 triangles right here. So now, for this one, all right, H equals adjacent side, sine of 40, right there. So when you do that, you're going to get 3 sine of 40 is 1.9. All right, so 1.9 is the height. So in this case, the height is less than the opposite side, right? It's less than the opposite side, which is, all right, that's greater than that one. So that's one triangle. All right. For 11, you have h equals 2 sine 25, which equals 0.845. So in this case, h is less than the opposite side. It's less than 1, right? But it's also less than the adjacent side, right? Or that's the adjacent side. So that's 2 triangles. All right, 12. H equals 10 sine 60, which equals 8.66. Right here, right? So in this case, h is less than the opposite side, right? It's less than the opposite side, which is less than the adjacent side, right there, right? So this is 2 triangle. Now, right here, if you look at this one, this is obtuse. All right, so that tells me it's 0 triangles. All right. But anyway, even if you checked it again, you'll have the same thing, man. That's 0 triangles right here. All right, find the area right here. Okay, so side. So area equals, well, first of all, before we find the area, we got to find S. So S equals 34 plus 21 plus 16 divided by 2. All right, that's going to give us 35.5. So to find the area, we do the square root of 35.5 times 35.5 minus 34 times 35.5 minus 21 times 35.5 minus 16. All right, and multiply all that, and you'll get area equals, hold on, I'm putting it in, 122.7. All right, now 15. This one's side angle side, right? Side angle side, and that's an inclusive angle between A and B. All right, so we're going to first, well, we can find an area right here. All right, because I can go 1/2 base. All right, we know what the base is. The base is base times height, 3 sine of 95. All right, when we do that, we get, hold on, times 2 times 3 sine of 95. So you got 2.98. Round out of 3. All right. 16. Two hunters are in the woods. All right, let me draw this triangle real quick. Oh, Lord. There we go. Wait, what happened? There we go. Let me zoom out real quick. All right. 2 hunters are in the woods. One at X, all right, and one at Y. So X and Y. I got 2 hunters, 50 meters apart. All right. They both spotted deer, so there's a deer right here. All right. X is at 47 degrees. And Y is at an angle of 42. All right. We just need to find what we need to find. How far are the observers? So we need to find this side, little y, and this little x right here. We need to find those 2 sides. All right. So I'm gonna find this actually to start off. Yep, I'm gonna find that angle right there. So if I find this angle right here, that plus that, 89, 180 minus 89 is gonna be 91. So that's 91. So now I can do 50 over sine of 91 equals y over sine of 42. And the other one I'm going to set up x over sine of 47. And for this one, I get y equals 33.5. And for this one, I'm going to get 36.6. So there we go right there. All right, for this one, let me get a line going for this one. All right, you got a house. Got a house right here. All right, there's this tree right here that's leaning 5 degrees away. So think about it, right? If this was a straight line right here, that'd be 90 degrees. All right, but it's 5 degrees. So I have 90, right, plus 5. Well, 90 plus 5 because it's leaning away from that 90 degree right there. So 90 plus 5 is 95 degrees. All right, so if you didn't understand that, man, watch that again. All right, but that's 95 degrees right here. All right, and then let's close this triangle. So look, I drew that picture right there, but here's what the triangle looks like for real. You have this, this, this. All right. So 95. All right, they told me that this is 75 feet away. All right, and we got to find a height, right? Got to find a height. Oh, they told me the angle of elevation was what, 60? So from the house to looking to the top of the tree is 60 degrees. So from here to here is 60. So I got 2 angles in the side. All right. So if I mean 2 angles in the side, but if I add these 2 angles up and subtract from 180, I'll get 25, right? That's 25. So now I can use law of sine. Oops, sine of 25. And that's going to give me h over sine of 60. So now I just solved that right there, and I get h equals 153.7 right there. All right, last one. 2 people standing on the street, 200 feet apart, look at the top of a building. So I got 2 people, right? Person 1, all right, I'm gonna call person 1 X or A. Person 1 and person 2 is B. They're standing 200 meters apart, right? So now it says the angle of elevation from the 2 people are 33 and 68. You know what I'm saying? So respectively, that means his right here is 33. And his is 68. So check this out, right? Because I need to extend this line so you can get this. There we go. So you got B right here. And this was 33. This was 68, right? Here's Godzilla up here at the top of this. They're both looking up here. B is looking up here. A is looking up here. All right. So now, I just need to find, it says how far away is Godzilla from the person standing closest. So B is closest. So I just need to find this leg right here. So let me change the color on that so you can see this one right here. Change that to green. We just need to find that green line. All right. So now, check this out. This is X. I'm gonna call that X. So we have this. If this is 68, y'all remember a straight line is 180. So 180 minus 68 is going to be 112. So this right here is 112, right? So 33, 112, right? So if these 2 angles, if I add them up and subtract the 180, I'll get 35. Yeah, it's 35. Here, put it right at 35. Right? Anyway, now I have a full ratio, okay? I have X. See how this is opposite? So I have X over Sine of 33 equals, oh, and right here, they're 200 meters apart, feet apart, excuse me. So I have 200 over sine of 35. And so now I can cross multiply this thing. I got x is 189.9 feet right there. All right. Anyway, man, that's it for this video. Sorry, man, I rushed because I got to get outside for some workouts, hit the gym myself. So hopefully this helps you. Catch you later.